Shar Aleph Parak Daled on Thursday gave an introduction, which I hope was helpful. First of all, going backwards and also going forwards as to what we're learning here. I will not repeat that because let's learn it inside, and hopefully it'll. I actually just want to do this. I want to learn the Nefesh HaChaim inside, and this whole very, very big chiddush in the Nefesh HaChaim is a quote from the Zohar. But then I looked at the Zohar inside, which I'd like to do with you, and see that's actually a little bit different and more than Rav Chaim Volozhin says. Gam al zois yechrad leiv ha'adam me'am ha'kodesh. Here is something that should tremble the heart of someone who is from the holy nation. That refers to us. Shehu, that a person, a Jew, kolo bitavnisai kol hakoichos v'ha'ilamos kulam. Now, we're learning sophisticated stuff, so let's look at the words carefully. This is kolo bitavnisai. Tavnisai is what? Of the body. So a person in his body, kolel, includes kol hakoichos v'ha'ilamos kulam. What's included here? Like, in other words, what is our domain? What are we controlling? Here's a control pad, here's the keyboard. You're controlling. What are you controlling? So the answer is kol hakoichos, he says, v'ha'ilamos kulam. Kamoshi is everything. Kamoshi Yisparim Yirtz Hashem lahalon b'perak vavu b'shar beis perak hey shehein hema, which are, what is this everything that we're referring to? We're controlling things that we have no concept of what they are, which is not it's not a kasha, right? In other words, I'm controlling my car. I have no idea what's going on under the hood. I'm controlling my computer. I have no idea what's going on under the hood there either. Some people know, but you don't need to know. In fact, sometimes it's better not to know. Because how much you're going to know already, and a little bit of knowledge is dangerous. So that's why you don't let your kids play with your computer. Because they know. So let's understand how this works. Let's make a chart in our minds over here. Somehow the person is kolo b'tavnisai, has within his physical body kol hakoichos v'ha'ilamos kulam shehein hema, which are hakodesh v'hamikdash ha'elyon, which refers to the Beit HaMikdash shel malo. It's just me that's lost, or like what happened to the kol hakoichos v'ha'ilamos kulam? Shehein hema, which are hakodesh v'hamikdash ha'elyon. Now we know that the mikdash, there's two parts. There's the Beit HaMikdash, and then there's the Kodesh, and Kodesh HaKadoshim for that matter. So it gets, as you go inward to the Beit HaMikdash, it gets holier and holier. Yerushalayim is holy. Sheva Kedushas, I think they would, right? Yerushalayim, Eretz Yisrael is holy. Yerushalayim is holy. The Har Bayis is holier. The Beit HaMikdash is holier. The Kodesh is holier. Kodesh Kedoshim, holy of holies.
When you said that, Evan HaShasiyah.
Evan HaShasiyah is the center of the Kodesh HaKadoshim. Shein Hema Hamikdash Ha'elyon. Agav, I just want to point out something, just a simple observation. Kedusha seems to be related to sourcing. Meaning, what's the point of the Evan HaShasiyah, which is the center of the center of the center of the center, that center point, that Evan HaShasiyah? Shemimenu hu shesas kol ha'olam kulai. Because that's where renewal comes from. Newell and renewal comes from that Evan HaShasiyah. So it seems to be that there's a parallel here between Kedusha and the source. So Hashem is the holiest because he's the source. Evan HaShasiyah is the holiest place because it's the source. It's not intuitive to know that the source is the Kedusha. What? Therefore?
Hashem is the ultimate source.
Seder. That's after you know the idea. But in other words, the Kedusha, the nature of Kedusha is that the nature of Kedusha is that which starts everything off. And is that the ultimate source, or does it go even deeper than that? That's as far as our brain can take us, anyway. A holy person has a koach to renew himself all the time. Never gets old. V'halev shel ha'adam. Now, if you take the heart of the person, and we're talking about, again, the tavnis haguf, so it's talking about the heart. Emtsaisa de gufa, which is in the center of the guf. Right there, not here, not anywhere else, center of the guf. Some places, I believe, the Yerushalayim is referred to as taburai shalayim, is it not? Taburai shalayim. So what's the tabur? Belly button. Or in scientific language? Navel. Belly button.
That's what we call it in our house. That's what we call it in our house.
Right. Yeah, but you wouldn't say like the Kodesh HaKadoshim is the belly button of the world.
This is true.
Yeah.
It's also where
But the shot in the Tabor Ha'olam,
that's where the source comes.
that's the source. That's the source. You know it's interesting in the newer holistic medicine. So they keep the baby attached to the tabor of the mother an extra 5 minutes. You know, what's 5 minutes? They're there for 9 months. What's the extra? Another minute. Let it, as long as it's going, let it go, because you're connected to the source. So connected to the source is a chashuv thing, right? Don't be so quick to look for independence here. Va'alev shel adam emsa'isa de gufa hu kloliyos hakol. Kloliyos means here it's kolel everything. Neged habeis kodesh HaKadoshim emsa hayishu, the middle of the world. Even hashasiyah. Kol shorshe makar hakedushas kamayu. We learned this l'chatchila on Yom Yerushalayim. So did we? Or when's Yerushalayim? Yom Yerushalayim this week? Next week? 3 weeks?
29th of the hour.
Oh, that's after Hayer?
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't learn this on Yom Yerushalayim, but we're ready. So I can't get my sirens straight. Kol shorshe makar hakedushas kamayu. Or Ramzua Zal b'Mishnah Parak Tfilas HaShachar. This is the remez of what it says in the Gemara. Yechave neslibay keneged beis Kodesh HaKadoshim, which normally we translate is that when you're davening Shemona Esrei, you should face Jerusalem. But of course, that's not what it says. It says Yechave neslibay Yerushalayim. So first of all, it talks about the leiv, not the face. Second of all, it talks about yechavein. It doesn't mean kavana. It doesn't mean point. It means yechavein is liboy keneged beis kodesh HaKadoshim, that your heart should be. Your heart is the Kodesh HaKadoshim in this picture. Your heart now becomes the source, the power, the koach. It's all in the leiv of the Adam. Ubezayir shlach. In the Zohar it says, I want to read this with you inside here, and then I want to look at the Zohar, in the Zohar, and you'll see if you're with me that there's some slight differences here. Ubezayir shlach says as follows: To chazi, like Toshma, right? Come and see. Kadbra kudshabrichu barnosh ba'alma. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created man in this world, Askin le kigavna ilah yakira, he made him, kigavna means kigon, right? Just like ilah yakira. He made him like the higher being, which is what? Hashem. So we're B'Tselem Elokim. So when Hashem made a man, he made him kigavna ilah yakira. Important sentence. V'yev le chele, and he gave him koach, v'tukve, and power, v'amseusa de gufa, to be used through the switchboard of his guf, The Taman, because within it is Sharya Liba, lies his heart. So here he created us, B'Tselem Elokim, like Hashem. But a new thing, just like Hashem is in control, we're in control. And the CPU of all this is the lave, that the whole godless of the goof is that it has a lave in it. You take out the lave, you don't have a real person. Lave. Presumably, if you take, as a show, the lave out of the world, you wouldn't have a real world. Right? The world without a Beit HaMikdash, the world without a Har HaBayis, the world without the Avodah Shasiyah is Nishkin Welt. Why are we down for the Beit HaMikdash? I often think, just in parentheses, about, because this wasn't germane from the time of the Chavetz Chaim back till the time of Rabbi Yochanan Zakkai, that what goes on in the Beit Kodesh HaKadoshim is not just a reflection, but somehow an influence of what's going on in the entire world, because that's where the circulation begins. That's where the creation begins, moment by moment. And it's so interesting what's going on in the Kodesh HaKadoshim. And you can't go there. Don't go there. Don't go there. But what's going on there in the base Kodesh HaKadoshim, it's a tremendous amount of kavod, right? I mean, you have to be tahar, you take off your shoes. A tremendous amount of kavod for that exact stone. But what goes on there is and there's stuff going on there. Like you read, what goes on there. Today the Jordanians have cameras on what's going on there. It's Nogea us for the first time in history, in recent history. What's going on in the base Kodesh HaKadoshim is somehow changing the whole world. V'liba sharoi. I'm sorry, did I skip a little? Kigavnada, similarly, asking kutshabrichu alma. Hashem also created, just like He created man, B'Tselem Elokim, and in the center of man He put a heart. Kigavnada, asking kutshabrichu alma, He created a world. Va'avid lachad gufa. The world itself is one goof. V'liba sharoi b'emsai, and the world has a heart, and the heart's smack in the middle. Dehu tukva dekula. And that gives strength to everything. The kula Beitalian and everything depends on that heart of the world, which is where Yerushalayim Kodesh HaKadoshim, Va'heichel lebeis Kodesh HaKadoshim, the Taman Shechina v'Chaperes Ukruvim v'Aroim. In that heart lies the Shechina, the Kaperes, the Kruvim, the Aron. So Yerushalayim Beit HaMikdash also has a right ventricle and a left ventricle, right? And all the different parts that make it work. V'hachu liba dekol arav alma. And here, in that spot, is the heart of the world. Umihacha idzanu, from there comes mazon. Do you have in your edition a Hebrew translation here? Let's do it quickly, just so we understand it very well. Bo'orei. Bo'orei kasher bara HaKadosh Baruch Hu Adam ba'olam tikein oisai kedugma el yoino nichbada. He made him kedugma el yoino. Now, here's where I'm a little bit confused, which has caused me to look in the Zohar inside. He created us kedugma el yoino, which is Hashem. So we are like Hashem. V'nasa like koichai v'takvai b'emsa gufai shesham shara halei. So there's two things. There's Hashem created man, Hashem created the world. Does it say here so far that we control the world? What do we control? Our heart. And our heart is what? What's the Tzelem Elokim Shabbai? Nothing like koichai v'takvai. The koach of the person is to control yourself. Same thing is the world. So we have like two parallel things going on here. And the heart of the world also has a heart which is right in the middle. Akol Tolui Boy. V'aheichel Makiv Lebeis Kodesh HaKadoshim, and the Heichel surrounds the Kodesh HaKadoshim, Shisham Shechina V'chaparis Ukruvim V'arai. V'kan Hu Alev Shekol Aretz Ha'olam, U'mikam Nizonim, and from there the world gets strength. So we have no indication from what Rav Chaim Volozhin quoted to his point. His point is that we somehow are controlling everything, right? Yechrad Leiv Ha'adam Me'am HaKodesh, look at your power. Then he quotes a Zohar, which doesn't really say that. He says HaKadosh Baruch Hu created a person, B'Tselem Elokim, and he created with him in him a heart, and the heart is controlling your whole body, and therefore what? Therefore nothing. He doesn't say anything. Then he created a world, and the world has a heart. The heart is called Kodesh HaKadoshim, Evan HaShasiyah, and that's controlling everything. So like we control our fingers, the Kodesh HaKadoshim is controlling what's going on in Japan. But we don't have any connectors here, any synapses between all of these different pieces.
If it was Kedavna Yulav, then just like Hashem has a certain, has the same koach.
To move on. Hashem also has a koach.
So just not. So it's the same.
But doesn't mean what are we controlling other than our bodies?
So just like Hashem created the world, so He created us, Kedavna Yulav. So we have the same ability to create, control.
Is that what it says?
It doesn't, but I'm saying that it sounds like it's implicit.
It sounds implicit that just like Hashem created the world. To me, I agree with you in Svar, but I'm just saying in the Yivra here, what it says is that a person has a heart that controls his body. The world has a heart that controls its body, and the heart of the world is Yerushalayim.
So Kegavna Yulav must be.
And it happens to be we're created by Kegavna Yulav, that Hashem also has Kegavna Alev, which controls the world, the whole system.
And it said before that we control the kochos, so maybe.
But he said the Zohar doesn't say that. So I'm saying, where do you see in the Zohar? I'm just asking, Alom, just your question. Where do you see in the Zohar that we're controlling the El Yodim?
You have one merechet at the heart is Yerushalayim, another merechet at the heart is the Guf Adam.
And then another merechet of Hashem who's controlling the world. So there's three marachot. But it's not all one piece. What's connecting them? Okay, the words Selam Elokim, but then you don't need a Zohar. What's the Zohar helping here?
Why do we have to be Mechaber Libeinu Derech Yerushalayim?
Because he's telling us, the Yesod, that we're controlling the whole world. That we're controlling Yerushalayim somehow. But it doesn't, I'm just pointing out the Zohar that he quotes doesn't say that, as far as I can see. But I looked at the Zohar, which was bothersome. Like it doesn't bring a right to anything. But if you do look at the Zohar, let me just read it to you. I have here the Mosaic Midvash edition, Salskipti Aramaic. I'll just read you the Hebrew. Bo'orei, and notice the subtleties. Bo'orei, Kishabara HaKadosh Baruch Hu Adam Ba'olam. When Hashem created man, Hiskin Oisoi Ke'ein Shamala, as you pointed out, right? We're Kedugmas Mala. The Hainu B'Tselem Elokim. Who kololist muskol on itself. We're created b'tzelem Elokim. V'yoyev le. Did he quote this part? Keep your finger on the place. V'yoyev le chele v'tukve b'emtziusa degufa. Did he say that? No, right?
Yeah,
Did it say? Okay. V'yoyev le chele v'tukve b'emtziusa degufa. Nasan like koichai v'toikvai be'emsa gufa. The taman shari liba dehu tukvo mazoyna the chol gufa shesham shari v'nimsa halei shu hanoisin toikav nozayin l'chol aguf. So far, so good. Now listen. What?
He puts b'chule, all that last.
Okay. But so far, there's no change. Now listen to this. V'hiskin as ivrei haguf saviv halev. Right. V'askin shayfe the gufa sachrona the liba. The avarim, our arms, our legs, are saviv the lev. V'liba shar b'emsusa d'chol gufa, v'alev shar b'emsa kol haguf, we know. V'chol inun shayfe nitzana mehahu liba. And all the avarim, chol avarim nitzana min alev. So far, so good. Who took for the kula? Because the heart controls everything. Shu taikvay v'choyska shel kol avarim. The kula ketoli, and kol avarim tluyim bay. And here's the sentence that he doesn't say, I don't think. Ba'hu liba. Now that heart, this one, Iskasher v'isached b'moicha ilah desharya le'elah. Translation, v'halev hazeh, this one, miskasher v'nechaz b'moach ha'elyon asher l'mala. First of all, Moach. Where do we get Moach? A new concept here. Kesser. What's so pushing around here?
Black belts.
No, but Rav Chaim didn't say this. So first of all, here we're drawing a chain here, drawing a line from the Lev Ha'adam to the Moach Ha'elyon. Something new. If anything, why not to the Lev Ha'adam? But the whole kesher is not mentioned in Nefesh HaChaim, which is his main point. So kasha on the writer here. But the main point is over here that this is not, we are not an independent concept. It's not just that our heart is controlling our body. Our heart is going up. Yes, it controls our body, that's down, but it also controls up. Kilu Hashem kivyachol, and not Hashem's leiv, whatever that would mean, but Hashem's moach, whatever that means. Now, how does the Beit HaMikdash fit into this? So says the Zohar further, and with Frisch's Hakdamas, Hinei chelik min hakafos ha'ela. Hakafos. Hashem created the world. We're privy to things nobody knows. Hashem created the world. He created a circle. What Hashem drew was a circle. Hakafos. Hainu. Shekadusha katana makefes a kedusha hayoser gedolah mimana. So you can imagine, like I have a little knob, a mouse, and I'm turning it in a circle, and that's causing the whole world to turn around. Everything's turning around. Basically, we see that, right? You're turning the steering wheel in your car. It's turning the whole car. No, you're turning the steering wheel in your hakafas halev. What you're doing with your lave is making the whole world turn, and more. So says the Zohar. This I believe he says it all. The part that he skips, Ikar Chazar min sefer. Kadbara kutshabrichu alma. Same thing as when Hashem created the world. Asader liyamadu kianas diiskar kol yishuv alma. Everything was surrounded by ocean. Ukianas. Everything was surrounded by ocean. Sider es hayam ukianas shiakev is kol yishuv olam. V'yishuva dechol shivin uman. As hayishuv shall call us shivim uma is the whole world going. Hikifoisai are all surrounding. Think like the neutron, like think about the nucleus.
Concentric circle.
Yeah, but think about the nucleus of us. So as hayishuv shall call shivim umais hikifoisai saviv Yerushalayim. Everything's going around Yerushalayim. V'Yerushalayim shayra v'nimsas be'emsa kol hayishuv. And then Yerushalayim is in the middle. V'hi makefes es har habayis. V'har habayis es chil hazaris. V'har habayis makefes hazaris. V'taninon, and we know a halacha, tanina means we learned in the Bavli, Rav Shem Bar Yochai, that leis yeshiva ba'azara l'malcha beis David b'luchadayu, that you're not allowed to sit down in the azara. Ein yeshiva azara l'malcha beis David b'lvad. V'inun azares secharin l'lishkos hagazes. And then those hazares are going around the lishkas hagazes. And what happens in the lishkas hagazes? The Tamad Sanhedrin Gedol Liyas. So the Sanhedrin is inside of that, deeper, a holier circle, closer. V'lishkas hagazes escher l'ulam. Lishkas hagazes makif ulam. V'ulam lahechel. V'hechel l'beis Kodesh HaKadoshim. V'tamad Shechina Sharyeh. And that's where the Shechina is. The kaparis, the kruvim, the arin, shisham shara shchina.
Where's the word taman?
There, sham.
There or sham.
V'hachahu liba dechalara v'alma. V'kan b'kodesh HaKadoshim hu halev shal kol ha'aretz v'chol ha'olam. Ki sham yored ha'shefa milamala because that's where it's coming down from Shamayim. Umisham mispashit l'chol ha'olam. So now our circle is becoming clear. By the way, this is, it's complicated in the sense that who would know this, but it's not hard to understand what he's saying over here. L'chein. So therefore, nizayin kol makoymes ha'yishuv shem dugmas ha'varim shal guf ha'olam. V'halev hazeh shu soid hashchina nizayin min ha'moyach. The moyach is important over here. Sheberoish. What is the moyach? If the Beit HaMikdash shel mata, if the Beit HaMikdash of Yerushalayim, if the Eben HaShasiyah is the lave, so what's the moach? Yerushalayim shel malo, says the Zohar. Nizayin min ha-moyach sheberoi shehu soid Beit HaMikdash ha'elyon dahainu malchus ha'atzilus. V'isached be'bidah v'heim nechazoi zu b'zu Yerushalayim shel mata with Yerushalayim shel malo adahu d'chsiv, and this is the pshat in the pasuk machoin l'shivtecha pa'alta Hashem. Machoin l'shivtecha pa'alta Hashem, that you made a place connected your kisei hakavod, we say in the Shira, you made here in this world. So let me explain what I'm understanding that he says, and then he actually speaks out even more later. And that is this: let's make a number of points. Let's imagine here for a minute a circle, and there are a number of points in the circle. And as the world turns, this is the way the whole thing works. The way it works is the thing about a circle is, it doesn't have a beginning and an end, so you can start wherever you want on the circle. It's just important to remember that Hashem drew the circle. He's the Baal HaCircle, but the circle, a circle is a circle. That was the design here of a circle. It wasn't up down, it was a circle. So let's start from where it's easiest for us, with us. So let's start with our lave, right? Wrong, because the lave is manipulated by the moach. So the real thing to start with is the mind. Mind, you see something, you hear something, you think something, you have a machshava in your mind. You can think anything. You can think things that are contradictory. You can think, Gemara says, are you from Pupadisa that you can imagine elephants going through the eyes of the needle? In your mind, in your dreams, there's no time, there's no Yashar, everything can go, everything goes.
And the mind can make your heart beat faster or slower too.
Mind's in charge. Mind is for our purposes, the beginning of the circle. So the mind has all kinds of machshavas. Now, take those things, v'yadata hayoim, v'ashevoysa levavecha, v'samtem es dvar ha'ila al levavcha v'al nafshcha, right? Not levavcha v'al nafshcha. Take those things. What are those things? The things that are in your mind. Take them and bring them to your life. Now, what happens here? What's important about this is two very important things. One is that if you keep something in your brain, it's garnished. But if you take it, you have to take it to heart. Take it to heart. One thing. Number two is that what Rabbi's machshavos b'lavish v'atzas Hashem hisakol, that you can have all kinds of contradictory thoughts, and you can think all kinds of things, but that's not yet the person. The person is that thought which comes to the heart. That's what the person is. That's why a person is based in your midos. Rav Chaim Volozhin is going to say later, Nefesh HaChaim, are you bekas? Are you a balgaiva? Are you humble? These are the things that really make the person. Not what you know. It's what you are. What you know is a beginning. No, people know. Computers know. So you know. You have a good head, you know. You're benched with a good memory, you know a lot. But it's what you take to heart which is important. And there, everything unifies. Not necessarily good, but everything unifies. You only can have one heart. And you only have one heart. So it goes from our heart. From our heart, and what's going on in our heart, says the Zohar, influences the moach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The circle goes upward. It goes to the moach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not the lave of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the moach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the generator of Hashem's heart, of Hashem's thoughts. Kiviyachol. Let's just understand the mechanics of the circle. It goes to the mind of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu was Baruch Olam. We find a lot of Lashonos, Istakel, Baruch. Kodesh Baruch Hu, machshava tchila. From the machshava of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, it goes to the leiv, or to his moach, let's say, which is represented in the Beit HaMikdash shel malo. It's all moach, as Chaim says, the kesed. Something which is above, something which is beyond understanding. And from there, it goes to the Beit HaMikdash shel mata. So it's going from Beit HaMikdash shel malo, Yerushalayim shel malo, to Yerushalayim shel mata, means it's going min hamoach el alev. Hakafas. I don't know. Let's first understand the hakafa. Let's get the hakafa clear, the circuit. And now, don't break the circuit. Okay. So it's going from the moach lamala to, which let's call that keser, or let's even call it chachma. Meaning, but it's a duchra. That's why. It's a zachar. Everything in the world is zachar nekeva. Zachar nekeva. I don't know. But what happens here is then, now that's affecting the Even HaShasiyah, which is Bina, which is Nukva, which is Makabel from the Moach of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Let's call that the Yerushalayim Shamala to make it easier for us to picture in our minds, as opposed to a brain, the Yerushalayim Shamala. And from there, Hushasas Kol Olam Kulai, the whole world is affected. So in this circle, says Rav Chaim Volozhin, or says the Zohar anyway, what happens over here is that it really all starts with as I say, a circle could start wherever you want to start it. But let's call it Isarusa de Lusato. And where is it starting? It's really starting from, not even from our heart, but from our minds. And what that process, so the process is a very simple process. It goes from mind to heart, to mind, Yerushalayim Shamala, to heart, Even HaShasiyah Shehu Leiv Ha'olam, Umimenu, and from there, Hushasas Kol Olam Kulai. Comes out that what a person is thinking, and certainly what a person has in his leiv, is affecting the entire world. So once you know the schematic here, once you know this process, this circle that Hashem drew, we understand Salam Alekim in a whole different idea that there's that. Now, Dora's asking a good question, which we need to think about, but not now. But why is circuit? Why is everything in the world a circuit? Everything's a circuit. Electricity's a circuit. Everything's a circuit.
Circulation.
Everything's a circuit.
I'm saying Dafka said Hakafa, right?
Hakafa.
Hakafa is flying round.
A circle.
But it could be straight up,
Because
straight down,
the
straight
mile of a circle is that you can start it wherever you want to start it. You can get involved on any part of the circle. Meaning, let's a simple example. HaKadosh Baruch Hu could change anything, right? Ein Mazel Yisrael. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu could change anything. He could interfere in the circle there and start. But if the circle is working the way the circle is supposed to be working, it could be the Chorban Beit HaMikdash is a short circuit. If the circuit is working the way it's supposed to be working, what's happening is that it starts with our mind. Our mind is capable of all kinds of crazy things. It goes to our heart, which hopefully is being filtered into a das achid, the leiv, atzas Hashem hisakum. From there, it's not going parallel. The next thing on the circle, this is the amazing part. The next thing on the circle is not the Beit HaMikdash, not the world, not what's going on in nuclear Korea. No. What's going on is that from our heart to God's Moach. And the Moach, I'm not sure why this is, I have no idea. The Moach is called the Moach of Hashem is called the Yerushalayim Shamala. And from the Yerushalayim Shamala, depending on what's in that Moach, it's Meshiv El HaLeiv, and Yerushalayim is the Leiv HaOlam. Specifically, the Even HaShasiyah.
Then has to get back to us somehow. You have to get back
Which
to
gets the whole world,
But
including us.
The Moach.
Yes. So here's a circulation. Here's the circulation. Comes right back to the heart. Comes right back to our heart. And then like the circle. How long does that take, by the way? Probably a split second. Everything I just described probably is a split. Probably not even measurable in time. So it's immediate. And does it have to be the leiv of Kol Yisrael? You see what happens? Let's say I'll just give you an example of this, so just a deeper understanding. Sinas Chinam was machriv the Beit HaMikdash. Now, I'm not giving you a schmooze on Sinas Chinam here. I'm just strictly being academic. Sinas Chinam is machar Beit HaMikdash, ma kesher. The pshat is that Sinas Chinam means that there's some kind of a cardiac problem in the nation, my heart and your heart. We're not seeing heart to heart. If we're not seeing heart to heart, what is the next thing that happens in the circle? The Ma'ach Hashem, the Yerushalayim Shomala gets all messed up because you don't have a clear lave going into it. And then what's the next thing that happens in the circle? The Yerushalayim Shomata is getting this messed up juice, which is coming from here. So it comes out, boom, comes Titus, Nebuchadnezzar, the words of Chazal, Kimchot Schuna Tochanta. This was a straw house. There was nothing in this Beit HaMikdash. There was nothing for Nebuchadnezzar to come and to kick it down. There was nothing there. There was nothing there anymore because this is powered by us, and it was already unempowered by the circle that we're describing. So hence, here's two ways to cause destruction in the world. Beit HaMikdash echad, Gilui Araya, Shvichas Damim, Avodah Zarah, serious heart problems. You know, those kind of things are usher even in your heart. Avodah Zarah is usher, Machshava Ra, and Starif L'maisa by Avodah Zarah, by Znus. So Avodah Zarah, Gilui Araya, Shvichas Damim. That's at least a bad midah to fantasize who you're going to kill today. So all of that, but even good shvichas damim like the David HaMelech, harbe damim shafachta, you cannot build the Beit HaMikdash. There's a circulatory problem here. There's a problem in the circulation. Now, the same kind of problem as Sinas Chinam. The David HaMelech couldn't have a Beit HaMikdash. It couldn't happen because you can't have shvichas damim in this circle. Can't have it. So once we understand what the Zohar is telling us, once we understand the circle, we can understand how everything can start from us. Or we can daven, Dor Shekulei Chayav. We can daven that HaKadosh Baruch Hu start it again, jumpstart this thing again. But that's not circulation. That's we call that thing. Right? Starting again. Yeah.
What's the connection between the Aron HaKodesh and the Evan HaShasiyah?
So the Aron HaKodesh, and he says here, the Zohar says that the Aron HaKodesh and the different components of the Beit HaMikdash, of the Kodesh HaKadoshim, are the same components of the lathe. So what I wanted to explain today was that circle and how it works, and a pella that the Nefesh HaChaim brings a half a Zohar and it's actually the wrong half. But he does say, and this was my heter, Ayin Sham. So I followed instructions of Ayin Sham Ba'orech, and we understand how things work. I wouldn't play this.